Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for the gold price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis, and this is the intraday for the gold to see what happened, what it might happen next. So today after the live stream and during the news, of course, we saw this drop toward the downside, which it is a little bit tricky drop. We were looking for a potential wave 1 here, of course, as an impulse toward the upside. However, if this wave 1 is something else corrective, we have to also be careful that we might be here in kind of like an expanding diagonal wave 1 or 2 and then 3, 4, 5 continuation toward the downside. And that because, of course, don't forget that you have a trend line given here from all those highs here. And currently, while moving towards the upside, we couldn't yet reach this high, and we moved directly towards the downside. And I would say it looks like kind of like an impulse toward the downside. So we have to be careful. It has two faces. It can be, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, guys, finished as a wave 1. Currently, you're looking at a wave 2 potentially, and then dropping down, of course, toward the downside one more time. So be careful with this. In case this happen, what this wave 1 will transform to. So don't forget that this is looking like a good impulse, right, toward the upside, but it can be a zigzag and another zigzag and an X in between, okay? W, X, and a Y. So it can be possible, of course, tricky W, X, and a Y wave here as corrective, that it looks like an impulse, and normally W, X, and Y can be sharp like this sometimes, trying to mimic an impulse, and yeah, it might turns out, of course, that it is something corrective. So we have to be careful with this. Now I'm gonna come back for the key levels here to see which one, which price would give us a signal for lower or higher. Again, don't forget that we have three tops here. We couldn't break the trend yet. We would like to see this trend broken, of course, to see much more higher prices. Our scenario is, of course, towards the upside is to get, of course, a wave C after an A, B, and a C here, right? Basically, you would like to see a W, X, and a Y. The wave Y has to be, of course, like a zigzag, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, don't forget that also in a bigger overview, we are at the top 300, 500, 3,500, which might be the top there, and that we are looking for higher in case we're looking for higher correctively. And even if we reach the 3,600, this still can be an expanding wave B, right, for an expanding flat and moving toward the downside in all case scenarios. On the daily, we're gonna go for the daily as well to see why we are already estimating a top here and we're moving toward the downside potentially. However, the key levels before moving to the daily, what is the key level here in this scenario? So in this scenario, by taking simply the 886 here, which is the 3,324, this might be, of course, the signal that we might still looking for higher. So until you take this level here at 3,324, this is confirmation for higher potentially, right? Because you take the 886, and when you take the 886, that means you're gonna take the high. However, you still need, of course, to break this trend. So much more confirmation that we're moving for higher is to break this trend toward the upside. I would say this area is a very bullish potential area, of course, to enter. If we could break it, it might be, of course, even much more bullish towards the 3,424. Now, this is the first signal for bullish scenario. Currently, we are still in a potential bearish scenario in case this is gonna play as a wave 1. This was your wave 2 as W, X, and a Y. You are looking at another impulse small wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Currently, if you simply take the low here after having, of course, a wave 2 kind of, if you take this low back again, that is the first signal that you are looking for lower. Second signal, which is much more confirmation, is the 886 from this side, 3,200 55. So I would say if you take this price also, this is kind of a confirmation for lower. And that means, of course, that you might take the low and even moving very, very bearish, right? Moving toward the 3,000. Why 3,000? Meaning if we don't get the bullish signal, which is the bullish wave B here, which is 3 waves supposedly to take the all-time high as an expanding flat, the wave B is gonna move simply to this one. Finished yesterday was an invalidated impulse. If you remember, the wave 4 interferes with zone 1 invalidation, meaning ABC. And this is your wave B, A, B, and potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to hit the 1-to-1 fib level at a very psychological number 3,000, which it might be, of course, your wave C. So we have to be careful so much with this scenario, and that, of course, is gonna finish a big wave A, guys. Big wave A, meaning 3 waves toward the downside. Wave A getting corrections, 3 waves B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again until the 2,500. Why? Because on the daily, time for the daily, or even on the weekly all-time history, we are looking for minimum correction around the 2,500, guys. And that means if you are on the all-time history for the gold, whether from the 60s, we're starting with an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, wave 2, you're looking for a wave 3 in the yellow. The wave 3 has to be an impulse. You finished a wave 1, finished wave 2, finished wave 3 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finished wave 3, you're looking for a wave 4. The wave 4 minimum target is 2,586. To move later on with a wave 5 toward the upside as an impulse, 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finishing wave 5 with it, it's gonna finish, of course, an impulse wave 3 or a wave C. Yeah. Why wave C? Because you might be, of course, also in a zigzag 3 waves moving down, right? But also there is a possibility you are in a wave 3, higher possibility wave 3, and then getting wave 4, and then wave 5 again, even for higher. But currently, the price, of course, needs some correction. And that because we have finished, of course, an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 1 finished, correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finished, correction, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. And therefore, the minimum target is 2,500, which we might take it in 3 ways, of course, which we're talking about it right now. 3,000 for a wave A. We just explained it. Wave B, wave C toward the downside. Yep, so these are the updates for the gold, guys, between bullish and bearish. Higher potential that we are in bearish right now because on the daily, on the weekly, it is bearish. Now, on the lower time frame, of course, there is a possibility for the bullish, as we said, correctively to move toward the upside, okay? That we move correctively toward the upside, meaning ABC, yeah, to reach those fib level. If not, then therefore, of course, the key level has been given in this area. If broken, if we take this 3,255, this is your confirmation for lower, and we might reach the 3,000 as 1-to-1 fib level taken from the main wave A, which is 3 waves toward the downside, A, B, and a C. That was it for the gold. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.